What's up, Comic Book Nation? I'm Russ Burlingame. We're here at San Diego Comic-Con 2018 with George Griffith. He is best known as that, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word Ray, from Twin Peaks. And how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. Now that you're with the Twin Peaks family, how many more people spontaneously offer you coffee?
I get offered coffee quite a bit, which is okay by me because I'm a big coffee drinker. I love coffee.
That's good. Do you buy David's?
I do buy David's, yeah. It's very good. Have you had it?
I have, yeah.
Okay, good.
So you told me beforehand that David discovered you from the feature film that you directed.
True.
How'd that come about?
I made a feature called From the Head. It was about a bathroom attendant in a strip club in New York City, and the feature stayed in the bathroom the whole time. And I sent it to David, and he watched it, and he loved it. And he called me in for Twin Peaks quite a while later. You know, I stayed in touch with him, but yeah, apparently he thought
Stuck
of
in
me.
his head,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
So when you came to Twin Peaks, obviously your character was one of the many characters this season that basically had not a ton of screen time, but a big impact on the plot over many episodes.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because people outside of the production knew basically nothing. Mm-hmm. Was David super secretive with the cast, or were you guys pretty open?
No, it was, for me anyway, it was on a need-to-know basis, and it was on, I went with what was on my page, and, you know, we talked very minimally about things. Mm-hmm. I think that worked out well for us. I think people have their own dynamics with David, and, you know, all of my stuff was largely with Kyle and David, who had a long working relationship, and so I just tried to take care of business, you know.
Was it odd to you at all the first time you walked in and it's like, well, I'm in a scene with Cooper and he looks like a homeless person?
Yeah, actually, I remember really specifically the boss, David, came out. They both came out of the dark, very like Blue Velvet. They just sort of emerged, and he said, "You have to meet Kale." He calls him Kale, and he showed up with his black eyes and black darkness, and I had to regulate a lot of things really rapidly. Yeah, because I was a big fan of the original show. I have a familiarity with Cooper, and I knew I was going to be dealing with a different Cooper, you know, but I didn't know it was going to look like that.
At what point, looking at those scripts, did you know, well, there's no way I survived this?
Well, you know, I think I'm in a place where I can have a lot of optimism, you know. In the Red Room, anything can happen. So, I mean,
I was going to say, technically, it took them 25 years, but they got back to Kyle's character eventually.
Yeah.
David hasn't closed the door on more of this. Is there something that in your head you're like, my guy should be doing this in you know, the next time there's a season?
No, actually, I haven't thought about what I should be doing. I've thought about characters I would love to interact with. You know, I would love to interact with Diane. Watching the show, she was one of my favorites. But no, I would just be happy to come back in any way, or a version of me to come back in some way, you know.
That's always interesting with David because he is obsessed with this kind of idea of duality and twins and things. Mm-hmm. So along the way, you could theoretically end up being your own brother or cousin or descendant.
I could be my own doppelganger.
That's true, too.
You know. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for me.
Stepping outside of that, what's next for you? Because you told me ahead of time you're directing your second feature.
Yeah, I'm directing a feature written by a novelist from Brooklyn named William Boyle, and I became familiar with him through a book he wrote years ago called Gravesend, which is about an area in Brooklyn, and we've been communicating for a long time with a goal to collaborate, and he wrote me a beautiful script, a small family comedy. We're going to shoot in October.
And are you shooting that in Brooklyn?
I think we are going to shoot in Brooklyn. We would like to go to Brooklyn. You know, my first film was a movie about New York that I shot in Los Angeles on a set. So I would like to go to New York, to go to Brooklyn.
And beyond that, you got anything else coming up real quick? I know that right now the Twin Peaks folks are all going to be getting together in a couple of nights. Are you going to be here at Comic-Con to do more?
Yeah, we have Twin Peaks Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got a panel Saturday. We've got signings tomorrow. I'll be with Daria, my girl Nicole, my liberté, and a lot of the OGs, you know, from the original cast as well.
For Daria in particular, your characters had to have all this backstory and all this baggage, but you spent basically 2 scenes together that were actually on screen before she got killed off. Was there either more that you shot, or did you guys spend a lot of time constructing a backstory for you guys?
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that really. We met and we did our thing together, and we had a very nice connection. And we've since had a relationship, an ongoing relationship. You know, from Twin Peaks things, but you know, there wasn't a lot of that kind of talking about things before. We kind of met and we just sort of came in together, you know.